What's going on, Mason? What's going on, George Mason University? What's up, George Mason University? What's going on, George Mason University? We're back. Double ball! David Bernard.
I'm Perry Buckley.
Lindsay Hokinson.
And I'm DeMonte Shaw.
What's going on, George Mason University? Welcome back inside the press box. Welcome back inside the studio. I know you missed us in the studio. It's been a few weeks. As always, I'm Vade Bernard, and today we got three special guests with us. Well, of course, you recognize Tyler, of course. But members of the Ultimate Frisbee team here at Mason, we have Tyler Byram, Anthony McLean, and Taylor Young. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. And we'll get started by just tell us a little bit about how you guys fell in love with the sport, with Ultimate, how you guys got introduced to it first off.
Taylor, you want to start?
Okay, I'll start. Actually, Tyler is the one that actually brought me out to the first practice. He convinced me to go, and I was really unsure about it at first. And I started hanging out with the guys and the girls teams, and I really fell in love with everyone. They made me feel like I could be myself around them. And then I went to a tournament, and I loved the culture and the atmosphere of everyone, and it was something that I just fell in love with immediately.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with Taylor. You come out to the sport, and it's just there are so many people that are just so friendly, and that's just how the Ultimate Frisbee community is. And that's probably one of the reasons why I fell in love with the sport, is just because everybody is just so hype about playing the sport of Ultimate.
Yeah, a friend on Facebook, some of you guys might know him, Brian Dombrowski. He's pretty prominent on campus, but he kind of recruited me, if you will. He found me on Facebook over the summer before I came, and he's just like, "Hey, do you want to play Ultimate Frisbee?" And I was like, okay. So then I came out to the first couple practices, and same with them, just fell in love with the sport. It's just so inclusive, so everyone's willing to help everyone. No one, well, at least the first couple months, is better than the other person. Everyone's working on trying to get each player better, teaching them the sport, teaching them the rules and everything. So just sort of fell in love with the sport that first couple weeks. Didn't take long.
Okay, that's good. So, getting a common theme here is pretty much you guys are like a family. And I think that's important in anything. I think, and you see in sports having that family atmosphere. I think that's definitely something that's drawn you guys together. So, just tell us about. Take us through what a typical practice day is like for you guys. And, getting started with warm ups and everything. Take us through a little typical day for you guys.
Okay, so a typical practice for us, we start off just doing warm-ups, basic stretches, and then we'll break off and we'll do a lot of drills that work on disc movement and just our main movement of the disc, I guess you can say, and how we can move it from sideline to sideline or up the field. And then for us, we'll just scrimmage for the rest of the game, just to focus on what we need for our next tournament.
Okay.
The women's team runs pretty similarly. We'll start with the basic stretches, warm-ups. Then we do drills to focus on things that we didn't perform well in past tournaments or things we need to work on. And then we'll scrim for a little and then have a refocusing drill where we work on something that we didn't do well in the scrimmage, and then we'll scrimmage again.
Yeah, it's basically the same as Taylor's. Warm-ups, do drills to work on what we suck at, and then scrimmages, and then do drills that we suck at less, and then scrimmage again, and hopefully the last scrimmage everything's come together. And a lot of talking from our coach. He likes to talk.
Well said. So I know we talked about it off camera, but just tell us about approximately how many players there are on the Ultimate team. I know you guys have the A team, the B team, and the women's team. So approximately how many players do you guys have come out?
For the B team, we have about 11 to 14 regular players. I'd say the whole team, for people who pay dues, it's around 20. And then there's some more people that come out. I say there's been this semester maybe a total of 23 to 24 people who have came out, but only then again 14 or more on the team actually. So.
Okay.
Yeah, for the A team, we have about 26 people on our roster right now that are actively committed and attend all of our practices, go to all of our tournaments, and yeah.
The women's team, we have about 30 people on our roster with about 25 regular players that go to tournaments and practices.
So take us through how many tournaments that you guys go through throughout the year, throughout the season. Give us a little just rundown of how long the season runs for you guys, how many tournaments you guys go through.
For the A team, all of we're year round. We start in the fall. We'll pick up in August, first week of class. We'll recruit and we'll come out to practice and hang out with easily over 100 people out on the intramural fields. In the fall, we'll attend about like 3 to 4 tournaments. For our fall, it's pretty much like our preseason, I guess you can say. And then in the spring, we attend about 5 to 6, depending on how far we go in like the championship playoff series.
Okay.
The women's team is pretty similar. In the fall, we'll recruit a bunch of people and go to about 3 or 4 tournaments, and we use this to see who wants to stay around, who wants to be committed, and then in the spring we'll go to about 3 or 4, including the college series.
Yeah, the B team, in the fall, we're with A team for part of it, so like we'll go to a couple tournaments with them, and then when the teams actually break off and cuts are made, we'll go to like 1 or 2 on our own, and then spring season, which is the competitive season. This year we went to about one once a month, so like 1 February, 1 March, 1 April, and then we had our sectionals, which is like our playoffs at the end of the year.
Okay, so tell us about, for those that might not know too much about Ultimate, just run us through what the game is like, just the rules of the game, real quick. Taylor?
Okay, well, Ultimate's a very fast-paced competitive sport. It starts with 2 teams with 7 players on each, and they try to advance the disc into the other team's end zone. There's a few rules. You can't run with the disc. As soon as it's thrown to you, you have to stop where you are. Another rule is you can't hold it for more than 10 seconds. And it's mostly just based on strategy to try to get it into the end zone. Did I miss anything?
One thing for Ultimate, we play what are the spirit of the game, which are just like 10 rules that somebody had come up with down the line, and it's pretty much just like no cheating, be nice to like the other players, play with heart, it's just like, because we don't have referees, we are a self-officiated sport.
Okay. So
that's what separates us from a lot of other sports, and that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah, and since we're self-officiated, it's known as one of the gentlemen's sports. It's like there's intended to be no contact, but I mean there's going to be contact.
Right.
Like there's a foul involved, and it's not like aggressive contact or football. It's just you're actually trying to run into each other. It's more accidental.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so for, I guess, what would you say, or what advice would you give to those that maybe want to think about playing Ultimate, maybe for those next year when you guys enter recruiting season? What do you say for those maybe that never played it but would like to come out and try it?
I would say if you've never played before, come out. I had never played before. I've never played in high school. Didn't even play gym class, and I just picked it up my freshman year, and now I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Like, don't be afraid to come out and try it, because I was a little at first, and I was afraid. I was like, man, I suck. Like, I can't make it on the team. But everyone sucks when they first start. So it's like definitely worth coming out. It's one of the best decisions I've made since being at Mason.
Yeah, there's always someone that sucked more than you if you go out there. It's probably me who sucked more, but I mean, there's always. Don't worry about the first couple months. It will come with you if you go to practice regularly. If you have the work ethic, if you just want to enjoy the sport. I mean, it will come. You'll enjoy it, and I mean, that's one of the beauty things about Ultimate is that you can be absolutely terrible but still enjoy yourself. You can still have fun. You can still be involved and have a role on the team. So
that's awesome. So I know you guys made some trick shot videos, and if you haven't seen those videos, by the way, they are absolutely amazing. We're gonna have those up on the page soon too. But just take us through making the video, and I mean, some of the things you guys did in it were just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, how long did it take you guys to do that and put all that together?
We started that video like at the beginning of the school year, so in August, and it took us about 4 weeks to like fully do it all. Probably a course of like 45 hours. There were some days we'd get up at like 8 a.m. and we'd meet at like the clock tower, and then we just go nuts on campus. It was absolutely fun. Ryan Glass, shout out to you. I was probably like the most fun 4 weeks of my life, especially as like classes were going on and meeting so many new people, and people were like, oh, who are you and what are you doing with the trash can and frisbees? It was absolutely great.
So for, I guess, lost my question. But so for, I guess some of the spots that you guys did in the video, did you guys plan them out, kind of map out what you guys were going to do, or something spontaneous, like, oh, hey, this would be cool if we just go ahead and do this, and let's test it out, let's try it, see what happens?
It was a little bit of both. We had some of them were planned, some of them we were like, all right, this looks like it's going to be a good shot, and then some of them we were just walking around campus, and we were like, oh, Ryan, start filming now, and that's how it just came to be.
Okay, all right. So, I guess for, what are some of the different, or that you guys have different positions ultimately, so I guess like in terms of when you guys are playing the game, do you guys place, I guess, certain people that may have a certain strength at certain places on the field, or can you tell us a little bit about that?
Tyler, Taylor?
Well, basically there's of course offense and defense, and there are some people who are better playing offense, or in my opinion there's more people who are better playing defense, but there's essentially handlers and cutters. Handlers are people who can throw the disc very well, and cutters are the people who try and advance the disc downfield.
Okay.
And then when the cutter gets the disc, say 10 or 15 yards, he can throw it to another cutter, but often he throws it back to the handler because he's the guy who can bomb it for 30 to 50 yards, or he's expected to be able to throw the disc better than cutters, but we still expect cutters to be able to use the disc and be able to throw it.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to add? Or is pretty much covered?
Nail on the head.
Okay. All right. So when you guys are going out to tournaments, you got these tournaments. Are you guys away all weekend for these tournaments, or what are some of the areas that you guys? Or of course, I mean I know, but what are some of the different places that you guys go to for tournaments, and are you competing with a lot of other schools, and how does that work out?
Well, it really depends on where the tournament is. We've played tournaments. The women's team has played tournaments in Delaware, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Maryland, as far down, like all through Virginia, as far down as Florida. We've played in Tallahassee, and there's no specific teams that are welcome at any tournaments, so anyone can come, which really is, I think, really beneficial to the teams, because you get to play so many different schools that you wouldn't normally play like in your section. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, for the B team, we don't have as many people, so we can't raise a lot of money to go very far. We normally stay in the Virginia, DC, Maryland area. We went down to Hampton Roads, Southern Virginia. We had a couple tournaments down there. Beginning of the year, we have one in Maryland every year. We hosted one here in Fairfax, so normally we try and stay Virginia, DC, Maryland area,
Okay.
for B team at least.
Okay.
For the A team, it's pretty much the same as the women's team. We go all over the place. We've been up to Pennsylvania, and we've been up closer to New York, and we've gone all the way down to Tallahassee as a team. And yeah.
All right. So I guess what has been the most? I mean, I know you guys have kind of touched on it, but the family atmosphere. But I guess what has been since you guys started playing Ultimate? What has been your most, I guess, crowning achievement? Of course, and then we'll follow up with the most disappointing thing. But first, actually start with the disappointing thing and then the high note. This has been the most disappointing thing, or the most frustrating thing, or the hardest thing to get adjusted to while you guys have been playing Ultimate?
I would have to say just learning how to throw the disc. A lot of people have the normal, what's called the backhand, where you just grab the disc and throw it like that. But the other throw that we use is called the flick, and it's your outside throw. And it's not the easiest to learn right away. And when you come in, and if you're already athletic, you're like, oh, this will be an easy sport to pick up. But it's very frustrating on learning how to throw right away, especially when you're a freshman in college and you're just trying to learn all these new things, meet all these new people, and somebody on top of that is trying to teach you something brand new on top of all your classes.
Another thing I thought was really frustrating was learning the strategy of the game. Learning when handlers should throw to cutters and when cutters should cut, and how the flow of everything works, the best way to advance it down the field. I found it very, very frustrating.
Yeah, I'd go with Anthony. Learning how to throw a flick was one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do.
Oh, yeah.
It's just one day you have it, and then a week later it's just gone away, and you're just what happened? And eventually you get to the point where it's just second nature, and you can actually throw it better than your other throw, because that's the throw you've been practicing on for months. but yeah, that was the most frustrating thing for me.
Okay. And then real quick, what has been the thing that you guys could take away the most or most success that you've had or crowning achievement you guys have had since playing Ultimate? I know it's a tough question. Kind of put you on the spot.
Individual or team?
I guess either one.
I'd say team. It would be this is our second year going to regionals, our tournaments next weekend, and this is just like the regionals. Just not it's not easy to get to, and I would say that's like probably one of our greatest team achievements.
As far as the women's team goes, we just won our first game at sectionals ever in team history, so that's something that we're really proud of.
Yeah, and for the B team, this year was more competitive for us. Used to just funding a new team to start third year. We just had a tough time getting players out, so we would get beaten by a lot, like 15-2, 15-1, 15-0 this year. It's been a whole lot more competitive, and we actually had the chance to do that on one team this year at sectionals. So
nice.
It
Reverse
feels good
roles.
being on the other side.
Definitely. Well, thank you guys, Taylor, Anthony, and Tyler, for joining us.
Thanks for having
Hey,
us.
thanks.
No problem. I'll come back next semester. We do some more with you guys.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. And George Mason University, thank you for joining us on Pressbox. But we're not done yet. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked. Be right back. Welcome back inside the Pressbox, George Mason University. Thank you to the Ultimate team, to Anthony, Taylor, and Tyler for joining us on the show. As always, DeMonte Shaw is being DeMonte Shaw. But of course, thank you for joining us back in. Of course, back in our regular location in the studio. We only got a few more episodes left this semester, guys. This year has flown by.
It
has.
Yeah. So, but of course, we're gonna do what we do. We're not gonna get on the sentimental value yet. We'll do that for last show. We'll save that. Stop. So, let's talk about Pine Tar first.
Pine
Yes,
Tar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think I don't know. It's just dirt, man. I don't know. It's I think a lot of teams, a lot of players, kind of bend the rules a bit. But Pineda was stupid enough to do it twice in a row, and it looked exactly the same. It was just instead of on his hand, it was on his neck. So that was really dumb. So I mean, you deserve to get suspended 10 games. If you're gonna be that stupid.
You gotta know when the block is hot, you gotta leave. You gotta stop, or you're gonna get caught.
They called him out on it last time too.
Yeah.
He was like, "I'll do it again."
It's sweaty dirt. I've seen sweaty dirt, and that wasn't sweaty dirt. Just saying, I'm an expert, so I know.
Are you?
Expert on sweaty dirt.
Yeah.
All right.
Please do explain.
I used to
Elaborate.
sweat a lot as a kid and playing the dirt. So
Roll in the dirt.
So you roll the dirt while you're sweating, so you have sweaty dirt on your neck and stuff.
yeah. Then I would go pitch a baseball game, little league, win the game, come home, roll in dirt again, take a shower, eat some pizza.
The stuff we talk about inside the press box.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I should have never brought up Pine Tar because I didn't think the conversation was going to go that route.
Sorry.
But I know Ryan mentioned it off camera, but he talked about how the only advantage it probably has is with pitchers breaking ball, and that's about it. But do you think it's that much of a huge deal for using it? I mean, of course, he was more blatant with it because he got caught. But do you think it's that much of a huge deal with pitchers using it? I
Yeah.
mean, I guess.
I think they banned it for a reason. I mean, he was saying he was using it for better grip, but they have the rosin bag that you can use if you need better grip, and that's allowed. You don't need pine tar. I think I'm not exactly familiar with what exactly effects it has on the ball, but it's banned for a reason, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, hopefully there's no more Pine Tar the rest of the season.
No more pine tar.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting little few days
Yeah, it's
watching
just
that
silly.
and just seeing the.
But he gets banned. He gets banned 10 games. That's only like one start, and then he'll have his next start pushed back a day.
That's a
right?
good point.
So it doesn't even really do that much.
That's a good point. Never thought of it that way.
Yeah. Suspensions for pitchers are kind of weird.
Yeah, because they'll pitch.
They don't pitch every day.
Exactly. That's true. Never thought of that.
like a little vacation.
Resident baseball
Insider
expert.
baseball analysis
Yep.
on the press box.
Nathan LaPierre.
I thought that was me, but I guess you can
Wow.
have it.
Good place, sorry.
So, of course, the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs are going through. Actually, just thought of this question. Well, I actually heard it from somewhere, but just thought of this question to ask now. But more exciting.
Okay.
Can I finish the question?
Sorry, yeah.
NBA playoffs or NHL playoffs?
Well, I'm a bit biased. I grew up watching the NBA, so hands down, it's NBA for me. I mean, I've seen like NHL highlights, and they're nice to watch, but just the highlights. I'll watch a full NBA playoff game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been more NBA oriented. I grew up watching the NBA too, so the NBA has always been my sort of thing. But it really depends. A lot of especially like the colder regions of the U.S. are really into hockey. So I know there's a lot of New Yorkers here, a lot of Rangers fans. They're all really into hockey and they don't care. But it seems like most people are one way or another. And I've really been trying to bring up my hockey knowledge so I can kind of empathize with both sides. But yeah, same. I grew up with the NBA, so that's my favorite.
Well, for the sake of debate, not playing. No, I mean, of course, the same way, just growing up with the NBA. But I have to say, when it comes to playoff hockey, I don't pay attention too much in the regular season. But when the postseason comes along, Stanley Cup playoffs come around, I definitely find myself watching them more. Especially the other night when the Clippers blew out the Warriors by 40 points. There was no way I was watching that game. It's the playoffs, and they lost by 40 points. Like, did it not show up? Did they forget they had a game?
Watch for the dunks.
I mean, Blake was already pretty much out anyways. He already had like 35 points in like 3 quarters. It wasn't like he was playing much in the fourth anyways.
That's true.
So, I mean, Curry just throwing it up and wasn't hitting anything.
Yeah.
I mean, so I switched over to, the hockey game. I forgot who was playing. I think it was
It's been a good game.
No, it was a really good game. It was tied up at, that's what it was. It was the Sharks and the Kings. It was the Sharks and the Kings, and it was tied at 2-2 coming down the...
Was it?
San Jose Sharks?
I'm pretty sure the
Is that
Sharks blasted the Kings in each of the first 2 games.
No, it was close. No, one of the games was like, it was 2-2. No, you're not going to pick me on the spot. You're not going to pick me on the spot. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I did watch it. Ryan, search it up for us. Search it up. The Kings and Sharks game 2, I think it was. There's no way it was a blowout. I watched the game.
You were watching it like this?
It was tied 2-2, all right?
There were a lot of good games.
You know what?
But
if it was a blowout, I'm gonna walk off and I'm not gonna finish this. I'm not gonna finish this segment, all right? But anyways, until that happens, I'm gonna try to get in as much as I can, just in case I am wrong. But so this recent debate, of course, First Take. We like to bring up First Take a lot between Skip and Stephen A. And pretty much just you can find it on YouTube because it's gonna be out there. Oh, you got it. What was the score of the game 2?
Kings beat the Sharks 6-3.
No.
It was close at one point, right? It was like 2-2.
Hey.
Like at the second half. Do we have like a
Bye.
period by period
was
breakdown?
that was game 3, I thought, though.
Left.
It was
Right.
It was
Left.
never 2-2.
Right.
It was never 2.
It was never 2-2 for game 2. What about game 3? How many games? Dang.
Man, we might need a resident hockey expert.
We'll give you a pass this time. You seem very convinced. You had a very convincing
You were
argument.
probably watching some
See, I didn't have my
games.
glasses on when I was watching the
No.
score, so I think the
watched
2
Oh, yeah.
ended up.
There was one that was the Sharks beat the Kings 4-3 in overtime.
That was the game. See? I was right.
I took your word for it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Trying to come for me. All right?
Left. Right.
I watched a little bit of hockey. All right?
But
I know what I'm talking
was
about.
it 2-2 at some point? Alright.
Look, the point is, it was a good game. It was 4-3. That's the game I was watching, okay? During a blowout. So, playoff hockey, it's there,
Definitely.
and I like playoff hockey, okay? It's
Crazy,
some ups and downs in there
fast-paced,
sometimes.
Big
Yeah.
hits.
Exactly.
It is exciting.
You know,
Love
sometimes if I don't want to watch the Pacers lose and be just straight bums out there in the
Hey.
court, I want to switch it up and
for the
watch
Wizards'
hockey.
sake,
Ooh.
playing the Hawks in the second round, I mean,
I'll
that
take
sounds
that.
like
That's
a
a good
ticket
look.
to the Eastern
Or
Conference
even the
Finals.
Pacers. I mean, even if we
Yeah,
play
even the
them,
way
yeah,
they're
yeah.
playing,
Yeah.
you know.
Where they get crushed by the Heat. Or the Bobcats. You never know.
Look, we're the bandwagons are not allowed to talk on this show. Okay,
Yeah.
we've been through
I
this.
thought we
discussion
established
before.
that I'm not a bandwagon fan.
Oh yeah, when you live in Miami.
Ooh.
Oh, it's too young to remember. It was a long time ago, back when we were good with Cuba.
Oh.
So, but yeah.
Anyway,
you
so
know.
back to the debate. So real quick to finish it up, it was when Skip and Stephen A were debating, of course, and as they usually do, things got loud and heated. Stephen A said that Chris Paul is a superstar. Skip said he's not. So we're just gonna play word associate real quick with a few maybe borderline or people that usually always come up in the news as either star or superstar. So Chris Paul. Star or superstar?
Superstar.
Superstar.
I'm the same way.
Like the man,
No.
he carried New Orleans. He's the glue to the Clippers right now. I mean, without him, they were just a mediocre, sometimes playoff team. I mean, or just mediocre. So I mean, he brought the thunder to the team.
I think Skip Bayless is just determined to piss everyone off as much as possible. He says everyone's not a superstar. He said something like he put Kevin Durant. He's like, I don't think Kevin Durant's a superstar, and then he named like 5 people. He put like 5 people above him. I was like, this is ridiculous. He put James Harden above him.
Has James Harden ever been considered for MVP? I mean,
has James
No, it
Harden
was
showed
stupid.
up
I
in
mean-
the playoffs so far?
How many games has he won?
I mean, fourth quarter, he's
No,
he's
how many
disappearing
conference
act.
finals has he?
I don't know how many.
Or
I don't know. That's a good question.
That's
I
funny.
have to check that out. I don't remember him getting any far.
Yeah.
But
He's got a nice
supposed to
beard.
be.
what Skip says.
He does.
Killer beard though.
Oh, yeah.
And then, all right, real quick, one more. Melo. Star or superstar? We're gonna keep it short because we gotta go. But we'll pick that up another time. But let's star or superstar for Melo.
I'll give him superstar. I just think he's in that Cleveland LeBron kind of phase, except he hasn't been out of the first round, but still kind of similar where he just needs a team that fits him.
I'm gonna go with superstar, but it's close. Play some defense, man.
Star. But anyways, we don't have enough time to finish this debate on the show. Thank you to Grace and Ryan for holding it down once again. Thank you to the Ultimate Team. As always, I'm Vader Bernard.
I'm Devontae Shaw.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm Nathan LaPierre.
And as always, George Mason University. Press on. We'll see you next time.